Dart Skill presents conversions. A physical quantity can be measured in several different units. For example, to measure time, we use seconds or even milliseconds or nanoseconds or microseconds, or perhaps minutes or hours or even days or weeks or months or years and so on. Similarly, to measure the length of a book, let's say, you would probably use centimeters as your unit, but to measure the distance between two towns or two cities, you would use kilometers. In this video, we are going to learn about the different units of length and capacity in the metric system of units, and also see how to convert from one to the other. In the metric system of units, the units are related to each other by factors that are powers of 10. For example, 10, 100, 1000 and so on. Let's talk about the units of length first. There are four important units of length under the metric system. They are millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. 10 millimeters add up to give you only 1 centimeters. 100 centimeters will add up to give you 1 meter, and 1000 meters add up to give you 1 kilometer. So if you want to find out the number of millimeters in 1 meter, you need to multiply that number with 10 and then again with 100 to get the number of meters. Similarly, if you want to change a certain number of meters to millimeters, you need to do a division with 100 and then again with 10, which is the same as dividing the number of meters with 1000 to get to the number of millimeters. The common units of capacity under the metric system are the milliliters and also the liters. 1000 milliliters is the same as 1 liter. Let's look at a few problems. Joes is measuring the lengths of line segments. One line segment is 25 centimeters long and another line segment is 120 millimeters long. What is the combined length of the two line segments in centimeters? So we have two line segments, one is 25 centimeters long and the other one is 120 millimeters long. We need to find the combined length, which means you got to add them up. But the problem is, this one is in centimeters and this one is in millimeters. And the answer needs to be in centimeters. So your job is to change this 120 millimeters to a certain number of centimeters. Given that 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeters, if you divide 120 with 10, you get 12. So you could say 12 centimeters is the same as 120 millimeters. Because you are changing a smaller unit, which is millimeters, to a larger unit, you got to do the division with the corresponding factor. And the conversion factor between a millimeter and a centimeter is 10, and therefore this number is 12 centimeters plus 25 centimeters. So the combined length of the two line segments is 37 centimeters. Let's do another one. Terry drove his car for 3.5 or 3.5 kilometers and then rode his bike for another 2,200 meters. How far did he travel? Obviously, to find the answer, you got to add up these two distances. But once again, one is in kilometers and the other one is in meters. So we got to do a conversion. The distance traveled is equal to 3.5 kilometers plus 2,200 meters. Given that 1,000 meters is the same as 1 kilometer, if you want to change a certain number of meters to kilometers, that is a smaller unit to a larger unit, you got to divide by the conversion factor, which is 1,000. So this is equal to, we have 3.5 kilometers plus 2,200 divided by 1,000 number of kilometers, and that's equal to 3.5 kilometers plus 2.2 kilometers. So the total distance traveled is 5.7 kilometers. If you want to write this down in meters, you just got to multiply this time with 1,000, not divide, because you're changing a certain number of kilometers, which is a larger unit as compared to the meters. And this is going to be equal to 5,700 meters. Let's now do a capacity problem. The doctor advised David to drink at least 2 liters of water daily. He drank 700 milliliters in the morning, 450 milliliters in the afternoon, and another 550 milliliters in the evening. Did he drink enough water as per his doctor's advice? So this is about adding these 3 numbers up and checking if that is equal to or more than 2 liters. So you have 700 milliliters plus 450 milliliters plus 550 milliliters is equal to 1,700 milliliters. And given that 1,000 ml is equal to 1 L for liters, you could either change this 1,700 ml to a certain number of liters by dividing with 1,000, that gives you 1.7 liters, or you could have also changed the 2 liters by multiplying that with 1,000, which is 2,000 milliliters. In either case, as you can see, David actually didn't drink the amount of water that his doctor advised him to. So this answer is a no.